Weatherman, don't tell me lies. I know it's all a big surprise. It's a hocus pocus magic that you do.
Good morning. Welcome to WEITV, another weekly weather edition broadcasting on Frequency YouTube. I am meteorologist David Knollhoff. Thank you for joining us today. Let's go ahead and take a look at last week's weather. A big bubble of high pressure dominated a good portion of the Texas Hill Country. That's been typical and is typical for this time of the year. We did have some rainfall in the northern and far eastern stretches of the Texas Hill Country, but in general last week rainfall was very minimal to not much at all. However, where it did rain up in the northern portions, 1 to 2 inch rainfalls actually did occur. Western portions of the Hill Country, all dry. Southern portions of the Hill Country, all dry. High temperatures last week in the 90s and the 100s. Heat index values across the southern portion of the Hill Country got up into the lower 100s. Very uncomfortable, lots of sunshine. What's the fault? The bubble of high pressure, the ring of fire that we like to call it in the meteorological world. A lot of rainfall in the western portion of Texas and the northern portion of Texas and the southern portion of Texas, but the Hill Country, no way, Jose. What we'd like to do on WEITV, every once in a while we'd like to, well, make things a little bit more interesting. This week we're going to talk about Fredericksburg. Fredericksburg is located is in the eastern half of the Texas Hill Country and kind of centrally located in the Hill Country. And Fredericksburg, as of last year, let's say if we look at January through May of last year, rainfall totals for Fredericksburg was around 4 inches. The average for that time frame is 12 inches. Well, this year, if we look from January through May of 2012, rainfall has been 15 inches. So the drought impact across a good portion of the Texas Hill Country has been minimized this year, which has been good despite the big bubble of high pressure that we have sitting over us. Now let's look at temperatures for Fredericksburg. How many days of 90-degree temperatures is typical? Well, for this time of the year, if you look again from January all the way through May, on average 10 days above 90 degrees for Fredericksburg. Well, last year, January through May of 2011, 27 days of 90-degree temperatures or above, and this year 15 days of 90-degree temperatures or above. So with the extra rainfall and the lower temperatures, the drought impacts have actually improved. Will it stay that way for the rest of the summer? That's questionable. But there have been some good improvements across the Texas Hill Country related to the drought. All right, let's go ahead and go on to the weather forecast for next week. Again, the pattern is minimal. There's not a whole lot of things going on. The bubble of high pressure is staying over our area for the most part, but it is going to centralize more west. It's going to move, the bubble of high pressure is going to move towards the west over time. That's still not going to allow a whole lot of rain in our neck of the woods. Maybe towards the middle to late part of the week we can see some light rainfall events occurring over the eastern portion of the Texas Hill Country. We'll have to keep an eye on that, but not a whole lot really expected. Really the big difference this coming week is going to be the lower high temperatures. We're not going to see the 100s that we saw last week. We're going to see the 90s instead, which of course is still warm, and with lots of sunshine it's easy to get sunburned out there, so be careful. Low temperatures this week are going to be in the 70s. Well, that's your weather wrap here on WEITV. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you next week.